People are joining in. You have a glass of water with you, ma'am?
I'll get it.
Yeah, kindly keep that handy. Thank you. Great, fantastic. Okay, so we see people joining. So, Dr. Disha, I have a few stats. Means I may be off, but in urban India, almost 1 in 5 or 1 in 6 women walking into gynecologists' cabins for consult have PCOS or PCOD challenges. Is that the right stat to share?
Yes, exactly. And in my personal opinion, this is actually underrepresented because so many women are not even talking about it. So I'll address this in the presentation itself, how we have normalized a lot of these problems. And there's so many women, as you know, women are not very expressive, especially in India.
Right.
Many women are not even talking. So we can easily say that the stats is much more.
Okay, good. Good. So just another couple of minutes and we shall start.
Yeah.
Okay. The board is filling up. That's good. Good. So I think, Dr. Disha, we will start because anyways, this is being recorded. This is live on our YouTube channel. Will go on Insta as well. So I think we can start. So a very good morning to all of you. First of all, a big thanks for everyone who has joined, and of course a big thanks to Dr. Disha who has joined us as well on Sunday. So this is in continuation of our monthly series. Where we try to bring experts from India and yes from abroad as well. We have brought medical experts to help all our customers, potential customers, or the audience with giving them insights about holistic approach, proactive approach to wellness. So whether we talked about knee health, whether we have talked about corporate snacking, whether we have talked about bypass surgery, I think all these topics which are almost at an endemic stage in India, whether we are talking about heart attacks, whether we are talking about knee replacement, or whether we are talking about healthy snacking in corporates. So all these relevant topics we try to bring to you. We try to see that yes, we are able to bring experts who can give us guidance, give us insights, and most importantly, help us get those practical tips to see how we address these health issues and get back to wellness through a holistic approach. So today we are very fortunate that we are joined. We have been joined by Dr. Disha. I'll briefly share her profile, where we want to see that one of the biggest challenges we are facing, especially during the fertile period of women's life, that is about PCOS and PCOD, how we can actually have a holistic approach to that. So thanks a lot all of you for joining. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Disha, who is an MD, DNB OBGYN, Integrative Gynaecologist and PCOS Warrior. She has 20 plus years of experience, and the most important aspect is that she combines modern medicine with functional medicine and ancient healing science to offer a holistic approach to polycystic ovarian syndrome, infertility, and hormonal imbalances in women. She is triple board certified, expert, of course, in OBGYN. She also is an expert in ultrasound, laparoscopy. She has a master's in NLP and energy healing and mind-body medicine. Her expertise, like I mentioned, it's not only that she has an OBGYN degree. Her expertise lies in the holistic management of PCOS and hormone imbalances, which impact, like just before we started, almost 20 to 25% of women, and still that number, like doctor said, probably is underrepresented, right? And how integrating modern medicine with biochemistry, nutrition, natural things like herbs, stress management, and self-care, how we can take care of this. So she helps women reconnect with their feminine essence and the power of the mind to create a vibrant, purpose-driven life. So having personally reversed PCOS and premature menopause to conceive in her 40s, she now empowers thousands through her online PCOS reversal and holistic pregnancy programs, helping women restore normal balance, vitality, and overall well-being. So I think we stand to gain a lot through this session. So I hand it over to Dr. Disha to enlighten all of us. And especially I feel that this is very close to us because, My Assurance, Nano Health, we specifically focus on women health, because if we want them to be inclusive, if we want our family to be healthy, if we want our workplace to be healthy, I think it's very important that we focus on health aspects and wellness aspects of all women. So thank you. So over to you, Dr. Disha.
Hello everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, doctor.
Yeah, thank you for the great introduction, Dr. Rahul. And I'm so happy to be here today at My Assurance and talking to all of you about a topic I am so passionate about. And thank you for giving me this opportunity. And I'll tell you why I'm so passionate about it. And I'm sure that you all will benefit from it. So let's keep this interactive so we can have questions at the end. But can we start with the presentation, Dr. Rahul?
Yes, Dr. Disha, we can start with that, please. Over
All right, so give me a minute to share my screen.
Sure.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, doctor.
Now you can hear me?
Yes, very well.
Yeah, I'm just checking. Okay.
Yes, doctor, right. You can just click on the hide button.
Hide button, okay.
Yes, just hide. Yes, fantastic.
All right. Okay, so as you all know, I'm Dr. Disha. I'm a gynecologist with over 20 years of experience by now. And I'm also a hormone expert, creator of True Healing. And I'm a doctor who empowers women to transform their life by reclaiming their health in a feminine way. And I'm so excited to be here today, bringing my work to My Assurance. I'm very happy. And I would like to thank the organizers, Dr. Rahul, for giving me this opportunity to come and talk to you about something I am so passionate about, and that is women's health. Now, why I'm so passionate about this topic is because we have 75% of you women sitting in this Zoom webinar right now, struggling with hormone imbalances. We have 1 in 5 couples struggle with infertility, 1 in 3 women with PCOD, fibroid, endometriosis, 1 in 2 women with thyroid problems, and billions of money lost at workplace due to cramps, period cramps. Okay, so this is, like I told, this data is not even doing justice, because many women who are suffering are not even talking about it. So we can easily say that this is outdated, and the statistics is much more than this. What I see in my practice, I think we can easily double this data. Yeah. Now, another reason I'm so passionate about this topic is because I was myself in this situation a couple of years back. So not only we know that there's an epidemic going on in the world of women's health, more than ever in the history, women are struggling with PCOS, infertility, PMS, mood changes, endometriosis, irregular heavy cycles, and how many women are going for IVFs? Like young women are going for IVFs, right? And this IVF roller coaster, multiple failed rounds of IVF. I'm sure all of you know someone who's going through this kind of a situation, right? And we don't even know what are the repercussions of so much synthetic hormone exposure on your system and your overall health and well-being. So this is very personal to me. Now, I am passionate about this topic because I was myself in this situation a couple of years back. And if you want to picture me around 15 years back, my body went into total hormonal collapse, and so did my life. I was diagnosed with autoimmune thyroid disease. I had a PCOS from I think from long, like from my 20s itself. But in my mid-30s, I was diagnosed with autoimmune thyroid, premature ovarian failure, and premature menopause. And I was tired, depressed, exhausted. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't wake up. And my symptoms were progressively getting worse. The treatment given to all my doctors was birth control pills and thyroid pill, which were causing a lot of side effects and not working for me. And my prognosis was told, I was told that my prognosis is filled with diabetes, infertility, heart disease, and cancers. And nothing much could be done to change that. And I would be medicated along the way. Okay, I mean, the medication roller coaster seemed endless. And that was the turning point in my life. My heart said, no, this is not my future. There has to be another path. And that is when I threw myself into researching anywhere and everywhere I could. I had to take a break from my practice, and I started researching into all the modern sciences which have come, like I got interested in the modern discovery about epigenetics and nutrigenomics. So there is some cool modern research in genetics. Do you remember the Human Genome Project? So as we know from the Human Genome Project came out the surprising discovery that you are not a victim to your genes. Your genetic expression can be changed with food, with lifestyle and environmental factors. And it was very exciting to me as a scientist to think about that if you can manipulate the genetic expression on microscopic level, then what can we do from a systemic viewpoint in the endocrine system in a woman's body? So I started using myself as a guinea pig and doing all these experiments. And I began putting my protocol together. And I did all these experiments. And over a period of time, I could see my body beautifully responding to these changes. And I love to share my results. So, to have 20 kg weight just melt off my body, to have my skin completely clear up. I used to have cystic acne all over my face, back, arms. And now to be able to get my regular period back and ovulating normally. Plus, I could experience a healthy pregnancy in my 40s, which is supposed to be an advanced maternal age. I was told that only donor egg is an option for me, but I didn't have to do any of that. And not to mention that I'm not on thyroid pills. I'm not on any PCOD treatment. And I think it's just divine blessings, because I never thought, and my doctors never thought, that it was possible. So I began putting my protocol together, and I call this True Healing Protocol, where we heal the root cause of women's hormones issues. And it is so beautiful that I am able to help other women with this protocol. But I know the power of this approach firsthand in terms of correcting my own issues. And then I thought, if it's working for me, it must be working for other women also. And I started applying this protocol to other women. And women came to me with all kinds of problems: period problems, fertility issues, low energy, low libido, exhausted, periods out of whack, can't conceive, major PMS and mood swings, and their lives also out of balance. And I applied the root cause protocols, and their health issues will resolve miraculously. I have seen PCODs disappear. I have seen ovarian cysts vanish. Endometriosis gone into remission forever. I have helped women lose a significant amount of weight. I could help hundreds of women get off birth control pills without any side effects. I have helped women with failed IVF conceive naturally with my methods, and being a gynecologist, I got the privilege to deliver their healthy babies also. And I absolutely love my work and the women I get to work with. And I'm so excited to bring this work to my assurance today. So this is the most important slide of this presentation. And if you don't get anything from this presentation, if you just get this slide, I think I have done a justice to the presentation, okay? So why this slide is so important? Because in 2009, National Institute of Health published a very important study called Biocycle Study. And this Biocycle Study basically lets us know that if you have a hormone imbalance in your 20s and 30s, it sets the stage for big diseases of inflammation in your 40s and 50s. Okay, so let me explain what it means. So, if you have something as simple as a period problem or PMS or infertility, like what we think is normal, right? We think it's normal to go for infertility treatment. It's normal to have postpartum depression after having a baby, or even thinking that suffering is a consequence of being born in a woman's body. This kind of mindset is really doing a great disservice to us, because it is increasing your risk of 4 big diseases of inflammation in later life. Like, what are these 4 diseases? Diabetes, thyroid disease, heart disease, and cancers. Okay, so can you even join the dots, ladies? Your PMS, your period cramps, is increasing your risk of breast cancer. Yeah, it has been proven because the root cause is the same. So literally, your period problems are increasing the risk of deadly diseases in later life. And I think if more women knew this, they would make very different choices. And it's much easier to heal the body when you are younger. And that is why I am talking to you today. But the good news is that all these problems can be easily fixed in younger years, rather than going on to develop a full-blown cancer, which is very, very difficult to deal with, as we all know, right? So even American College of OBG has declared your period as your 5th vital sign of health. So your period is important, ladies. Your menstrual reproductive health is a vital parameter of your overall health. Now, do you understand that hormones affect everything? How many of you join the dots when you have a flare of acne? It's your hormones. Or if you have constipation, it's your hormones. Or if you have sleepless nights, or your mood is changing, or the way you're thinking about a project is changing, or if you're feeling tired, all these things are your hormone imbalances. So how many of you even join the dots? Because sometimes we think, oh, I'm tired, I just need one more coffee, or maybe my skin is breaking out, I need a different skincare routine. But this is not a superficial thing, it's an internal problem. It's a hormonal imbalance in the body. So first, learn to join the dots and learn to ask the right kind of questions. So let's talk a little bit about the current approach in modern medicine and why it is failing women. Yeah, I will say it is failing women. See, modern medicine is great when it comes to acute problems. Thank God for modern medicine. They save lives. I'm so thankful for modern medicine. I mean, they are cutting edge when it comes to acute phase and accidents and trauma and myocardial infarction. They are literally saving lives. But when it comes to women's chronic gynecological imbalances, it is just not enough. Because the wrong paradigm in modern healthcare is, the problem with the current approach is that it can only mask the symptoms short term and not address the root cause of why the problem is happening in the first place. Okay, so I will explain this a little bit. If you have a headache, you take a crocin maybe. Okay, if you have period cramps, maybe you take a Meftal. If you have some acne, you buy some lotion potion or maybe take some internal medicine. And many people spend thousands of rupees on supplements per month, just trying things out. Okay, so we are just masking the symptoms. But this kind of approach is incorrect for systemic health issues. Now, if it was as simple as your wrist is broken and they put a cast on it, it would be great. But when you're talking about a woman's endocrine system, we are talking about so many glands which produce so many hormones, interconnected, interdependent on each other. We need a whole system approach to get it right. And what I found in my research, that for long-term solution of chronic gynecological issues, we have to address the root cause of the problem, which is located in your endocrine system, your hormonal system. And once you do that, whatever trouble you're having, from PMS to infertility, to wanting to preserve your fertility, we can do it in a much more natural way by addressing the root cause of the problem rather than only masking the symptoms, right? So how many of you have gone to the doctor and you have received an advice like, just take the birth control pills, metformin, thyroid pill, antidepressants, just lose weight, madam, why are you so lazy? Why can't you just eat less and exercise more? Or maybe just do a surgery or IVF or come back in 6 months. Now, this kind of advice is not going to work for long-term chronic gynecological issues. So what is this endocrine system? First, we have to know our own bodies. So let me introduce you to one of my favorite people, and I have such great relationship with her, and she is your endocrine system. She is just extraordinary. So ladies, this is your endocrine system, which is nothing but a collection of glands which secrete small messenger molecules in the blood called hormones. Now, I wish it was an interactive session, but I think I have to talk now. So these endocrine messengers are called hormones. And the way this endocrine system works is not so simple, because half is situated in the brain and half is situated in the body. So that is why this is where your mind-body connection comes from. And you cannot leave your mind out of the equation. And that is why spot fixing does not work. And when we are talking about so many organs, so many glands, which work together as a unit and overcompensate for each other, we need to support the entire body, entire brain and mind also. Okay. So many women are on thyroid pill these days. Okay. So if your TSH is out of range, you take a pill to get the TSH back into the lab range. But that is not actually healing why the thyroid is off in the first place. Because the root cause is somewhere else. And if you just keep taking the pill, the thyroid becomes lazy and thyroid stops secreting its own hormone. And now you're stuck in this never-ending vicious cycle of pill popping and its side effects. I hope it was making sense.
Yes, doctor. Yes, very much.
Great. Okay. So, because I cannot see anybody, it looks like I'm talking to a wall.
No. Yeah, there, doctor. And then you can see the reactions that are happening. So, that's how the session we can, feel that, yes, is interactive.
Right now, I can't see anyone, but I'm sure often once
the reactions, you see the claps, you see the thumbs up that are coming in on the screen.
Really? I'm not able to see that right now. I think I will stop sharing later.
So we are able to see that. So I think a lot of appreciation coming in from the audience who has joined.
Thank you for the feedback. It helps really. Okay, so now we know that when it comes to women's hormone imbalances, the conventional approach is not enough. Okay, it's not that it doesn't work, it's just not enough. And unfortunately, there is no magic pill or there is no magic herb or injection which can heal PCOS. It needs a systemic, sequential, holistic approach to support the entire endocrine system and allow the body to do its job of healing itself. Okay, that is why it is important to have a new framework of thinking to address the root cause of the problem. Okay, and now I'm going to share my basic recipe, which allowed me to heal from my issues, and it has helped hundreds of women reverse their PCOS, infertility, period problems, thyroid disease, and so many chronic issues from the root cause. So this is what I call True Healing Protocol. So I will explain a little bit, I'm going to get you through each and every step of my protocol and share some fun science behind how this works. I think science is very important, ladies and gents, because I see a lot of gents over here. Because the more you know about your body, the more you're able to work with your body. And I feel all you smart people are into science and data, right? You're not afraid. So if you nail these points, 80% of your job is done. Okay. And the sequence is also very important. It is because of the nature of how your endocrine system works. So the first step of the protocol is balancing your blood sugar. Insulin. All of us know insulin thanks to diabetes, and India is the diabetes capital. So I'm sure you have heard about insulin. And insulin is the first place to go. Now you must be thinking, we are talking about PCOS, we are talking about period problems. So why are you not talking about estrogen and progesterone? Okay. So estrogen and progesterone are actually way lower down in the hierarchy of hormones. And I have seen that if you need to balance the endocrine system, you need to go to the top. So insulin is the first hormone to balance out when we are addressing the root cause of the problem. So how do you balance the insulin? Of course, you fill the key nutritional gaps, deficiencies, using food as medicine. But one tip I can give you today, I hope you got it. Insulin is the first place to go. If you go anywhere else, it is going to backfire.
Okay.
So how many of you have done some kind of a cleanse or a detox and it made you feel worse with PCOS or some kind of long fasting? If you try doing that without balancing blood sugars, it is going to backfire, because the first thing we need to balance is insulin. And one of my tip is to balance your insulin is to stop doing caffeine the first thing in the morning. Empty stomach, ladies. Okay. I know it's a big thing. It's a morning ritual. Our chai and coffee in the morning is a big crutch for a lot of women, as a lot of women are dealing with adrenal fatigue, and with caffeine, they kind of get going. But if you just have your breakfast first and then have your coffee or tea to begin with, this small switch can do you a huge favor in terms of blood sugar balance and adrenal health. Okay, so I will take your questions, and if you want to know more, I'll guide you, but that will make the presentation very long. So let me come to the next point. The second place you want to go is cortisol, your stress hormone. Okay, so your adrenal gland, which hardly anybody talks about, is a big player in your PCOS and infertility. And the second step is to balance your stress and balance your cortisol. And one of my tips is to support your adrenals with seeds, especially, the pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds, which are a rich source of B vitamins and zinc, which can really help to support your stress regulation system. It can balance your cortisol, and it can balance the endocrine system. Okay. And only when you have done number 1 and number 2, the insulin and the cortisol, now we can talk about detoxification, and we can talk about estrogen. And estrogen, as you know, is detoxified in the liver. To support the liver, one of my tips is to boost up your green leafy and cruciferous vegetables, which will actually help the liver to metabolize estrogen, because these things are rich in indole 3-carbinol, which is also giving you soluble fiber, and it can move the broken down estrogen through intestines as quickly as possible. Okay, so this is just a few tips I've given you. It is much bigger than that. The root cause medicine is much deeper. We have to do a lot of detective work and go deeper. But I hope it gives you an idea that how do we go about it?
Yeah, it does. Thanks, Dr. Disha.
Yeah. So I've
taken one keynote, because I think your tip I'll summarize in the end. But those practical tips, keep them coming, Dr. Disha. They are very helpful.
Great. Thank you for the feedback. And one organ I would like to talk about is, which nobody talks about, is, I would like to elaborate it a little bit, even if it sounds nerdy. I just want you to put your focus on your adrenal glands. When it talks about stress, we think that stress is something vague which is happening somewhere. We really don't know how to work with the stress. But stress is an organic thing which is happening in your body, in your adrenal glands. So adrenal gland is a very not very famous organ which is situated on your mid back, and it is kind of producing cortisol and DHEA and all these beautiful hormones. Now, now you know that it's situated on top of your kidneys on the mid back. Okay, so the innermost part of adrenal gland is actually formed from the same organ which gives rise to your brain and spinal cord. So literally, it is the primitive extension of your brain. But unlike the brain, your adrenal glands do not adapt. It doesn't adapt to stress. It doesn't adapt to your diet. It does not like it if you do anything to make it unhappy. And it will start to affect you in so many profound ways. Okay, so I'm not going to get into anatomy, physiology, and zona fasciculata, reticularis. All those things will not make any sense to you. But I want you to know a little bit about adrenal glands, two hormones, the cortisol and DHEA. So cortisol is the stress hormone, and DHEA is the mother hormone from which all the feel-good hormones are produced. So when you have stress, like suppose if you have a deadline or you're running late for an event, you get a little boost of cortisol so that you get extra energy to tide over this crisis. Now, that is cool once in a blue moon. But if it is happening all the time, like these days, we have chronic stress. Now, a tiger is not chasing your life, but maybe your deadline is chasing your life. Maybe your mother-in-law is chasing your life. So it has, when chronic stress happens, it has a suppressive effect on your DHEA. And the more cortisol your adrenal gland produce, the lesser DHEA you will produce. And DHEA is the mother hormone from which all your healing, repair, and regeneration hormones come from. Okay, so if you're having any of these symptoms, this is your adrenal glands. If you're having fatigue, exhaustion, trouble sleeping, feeling overwhelmed, unable to cope, slow to recover from injury to illness, difficulty digesting foods. Okay, so all these things, if you have low energy, low libido, low BP, can't sleep in the night, can't wake up in the morning, in advanced stage of adrenal fatigue, you may have major anxiety or even panic attacks for no appropriate reasons, sweating, palpitations, that kind of thing. And you may have reduced immunity. You may think it is flu season, but when your adrenals are down, you are very likely to catch everybody's cold. So all this, poor digestion, improper elimination, depression, anxiety, which is such a big issue for so many women. Adrenal glands are at the root of it. So I want you to join the dots. And if you're not feeling like yourself, or feeling anxious, or feeling continuously worrisome thoughts, it's not your fault. And the treatment is not antidepressants. Just help your adrenal glands. And how do you help the adrenal glands? You can't control the external stress, right? But what you can do is to control the internal stress. And you can eat for adrenal happiness and practice rest and relaxation on a daily basis. And what is the definition of rest and relaxation? It does not mean sitting on the couch and watching Netflix. Relaxation is not a passive thing. It is an active thing. You have to literally stimulate your parasympathetic nervous system, your vagus nerve. And how do you do that? With, in our culture, what they called seva, satsang, simran, that is the way to go. Human connection, community, love, sex, music, dance, chanting, humming, gargling, singing, cold exposure, gua sha, grounding, walking. There's a big list, you can go through it. But I just want you to understand that rest does not mean sitting on the couch and watching Netflix. Okay, and one tip I want to give you about balancing your estrogen is, which is the third step of my protocol, is to support the liver so that it can eliminate your estrogen. And we have 4 kinds of elimination pathways. the skin, the lymphatic system, the liver, and the large intestine. So you are not what you eat, you are what you digest. So many of you are having digestive issues, you are not even digesting your foods well. And people are obsessed with nutrition. They're like, doctor, what should I eat? What supplement should I take? Arey Baba, you're not even digesting your food. Parasites are sitting in your body and eating your supplements. So it is not just about what you eat, it's about what you digest, what you eliminate, and what you excrete. So in my programs, we focus a lot on your gut healing so that you can absorb your foods well and you can eliminate well. Because estrogen, all of you are producing estrogen, but if it is not excreted well, it leads to accumulation in the body and it leads to estrogen dominance. Now, estrogen is a double-edged sword. If it is in the right amount, it makes you look and feel fantastic. It gives you your glow on the face, your ladylike figure. But too much of estrogen is also not good, and it can lead to. Now, please listen up, ladies and gents. I want you to understand that estrogen imbalances leads to weight gain, fibrocystic breast disease, the mood changes, the PMS, the migraines, menstrual disturbances, endometriosis, PCOS, fibroids, ovarian cysts, forgetfulness, mood swings, acne, exhaustion. Okay, so I want you to understand this is estrogen dominance. Your PCOS is actually estrogen dominance. Many of you have this syndrome going on, and the problem is not in your ovaries, but it's in your entire metabolism. Okay, so I will just skip few slides. I will just focus on the important points, otherwise it will become very long. So one very important thing I want you to understand is your menstrual cycle. And I speak to a lot of smart, highly educated, high-achieving women, and I'm sorry to say that we do not know about our own bodies, okay? So is there anybody in the audience who can name 5 hormones involved in your menstrual cycle? I just want to know, I can come back to you later. Please don't Google it. What are the 5 hormones involved in your menstrual cycle? And I have asked this question to even doctors don't know, okay? So we know very less about our own bodies. I want you to understand that your menstrual cycle is not just a 3 to 5 day bleeding happening below your waist. It is a period of 28 to 32 days, constant conversation between your ovaries and your brain. So we go through 4 phases of menstruation each month, and in each phase, your body and hormones are completely different. So all of you know the menstrual phase when you're bleeding. That is the only phase women are aware of. Some of you also know the ovulation phase. When you're trying to conceive, you're focusing on your ovulation. But do you know there's also follicular phase? There is also a luteal phase. And in all these phases, your hormones are completely different. And so here is a chart of your menstrual cycle. And if we know how our hormones work, so we can actually work with our menstrual cycle. So instead of letting the menstrual cycle work against us, we can let it work for us by aligning with the rhythm of these hormones. Okay, so this is a chart of your menstrual cycle. The 5 hormones are your estrogen, progesterone, FSH, LH, and testosterone. And here you can see how your body and mind are changing every week. From week to week, it is changing. And these hormones are changing your brain chemistry week over week. And you are literally a different person week over week. And if you're a sensitive woman, you also know that you have different nutritional requirements, different exercise capacity, and different social needs. So why do we keep doing the same kind of things every day? I want you to be more aware of it, because you can actually work it to your advantage if you are aware of it, right? So if you're a sensitive woman, have you noticed that your cravings are changing in the month, your moods are changing, your stamina is changing? How many of you go to a Zumba class in the first half of the cycle and you totally rock it? Then in the second half of the cycle, same class, same you, but but you're just waiting for the class to get over. Okay. So I'm sure a lot of you will resonate, because it is not you, it is your hormones, and you're in the wrong class for that time of the month. In fact, if you're adrenally fatigued and if you're over exercising at the wrong time of the month, you can actually make yourself gain weight. So how many of you have a girlfriend who trained for a marathon and ended up gaining 5 to 10 kg just by doing that? I see it all the time in my practice, and it has something to do with adrenal fatigue, hormone imbalance, and over-exercising at the wrong time of the month. So, ladies, it's amazing how much more you can do with much less effort if you lean into the natural hormone rhythm, what is happening to you. You know, if you understand your period cycle and you align with it instead of working against it. Okay. And if you're trying to have a baby, this is a very important slide. This is very close to my heart. Let's say you're thinking of having a child sometime in the future, or maybe you want to preserve your fertility till you find a partner or settle down in your career. You want to prepare your body for a healthy pregnancy. There is no shortcut to that. Or else you may end up passing your genetic weaknesses to the baby also. And no wonder many women are having miscarriages. We have babies born with diabetes, cancers from the mother's womb. The incidence of autism and asthma is on all-time high. And all these things can be totally prevented if you make a choice to heal your body and hormones before getting pregnant. Okay. So, I think I have covered most of the important points. And I just want to tell you that if, you know, your body is your best friend, I want to invite you to make friends with your period cycle and to listen to her. So if you have any kind of hormone imbalance, PCOS, mood changes, fibroid, endometriosis, infertility, cystic ovaries, thyroid problems, tiredness, IBS, missing periods, HPV, and this list is not complete. If you have any kind of issue, this is a big red flag. You do not want to ignore it. You want to fix it from the root cause, you know, because your health is in your hands, ladies. Your body is always trying to talk to you. So listen to her and fix the problem from the root cause. So it's very important that you do not ignore your symptoms and you fix it from the root cause. And women empowerment is certainly with speaking your voice, but it's also with claiming our health. So keep yourself at the top of your priority list and put your health at the highest priority for you. So whenever you are ready, remember that I'm Dr. Disha and I'll be happy to help you. My only message for you is heal your periods, transform your life, and save the world, change the world.
Fantastic. Fantastic, Dr. Disha. I think from hearing your transformational story to trying to understand the science behind all that happens, to very simple tips that you have given, I think all of us have stand to gain a lot. Right. So some of the things that I have written, and yes, there is a mixed group. We have men probably, who have joined for, trying to gain something for their either daughters or wives. My daughter was listening through this session as well. So I think from, very simple tips like not having caffeine in the morning to, understanding the cycle phases, right? And seeing that during what phase you should do what so that you are able to maximize the output, whether that's, your physical ability, whether you are trying to lose weight or, other things. So I think very, very practical tips, Dr. Disha. Can you, what we want to do now, there are two things. I think one is we'll do a rapid round, right? And then we can also open it up for questions from the audience. But let's get into the rapid, round, myth busters that we have. So let me just share my screen.
Sure.
Yeah. right? So that, I think this is part of our, thanks everyone for joining, right? And what we have, I think you're able to all see this. You're able to see the full screen, Dr. Disha, right?
Your screen,
Of the
I can
special,
see.
the special offer that we have for everyone who has joined today, right? We'll have one free consultation with you. This comes that if you take one consultation, then 1+1 for a month, you can have a repeat consultation. 25% off on any diagnostic tests that Dr. Disha recommends will be facilitated. And then, we have a link for a free fertility guide by Dr. Disha. I'll paste the URL in the chat window. So all of you can actually, download that. You can share it. I think thanks a lot, Dr. Disha, for sharing that. So these are the things that I wanted to, share with all of you. So let's get into, the rapid fire questions. Is everyone able to see everyone? Okay, good. So Dr. Disha, are you ready? So some myth busters we'll get into.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Great, super. Right, so myth or magic? These are fun PCOS myth busters. And we'll start with a very your single statement, a question, and then Dr. Disha can either affirm or give some very quick insights. So eating one French fry can trigger a PCOS flare up. So is PCOS really that dramatic that even small foods can make PCOS flare up, or can we make peace with potatoes as an example?
Okay, so yeah, it depends actually, because PCOS is not a problem in your ovaries. It's a problem in the metabolism. So it depends on the degree of insulin resistance. If insulin resistance is very high, going on to full-blown diabetic levels, definitely even potatoes can disturb that balance. But most of the PCOS are not that severe, and definitely one French fries is not going to precipitate a crisis.
Okay. Great. So I think next one is very important because we touched upon infertility as well, Dr. Disha. So the question is, if you have PCOS, you better freeze your eggs by 25 years of age. Is it a ticking time bomb, or can we breathe a little? So I think that this is one key important related to PCOS and infertility.
Oh my God, this is the biggest lie ever. Okay. If you have PCOS, you actually have more fertility. Your AMH is on the higher side, you have more eggs. What you need to work on is the quality of eggs. So you are completely focusing on the wrong thing. You have to work on the quality of eggs. You already have more quantity of eggs in PCOS. So definitely there is no role of egg freezing in PCOS in my experience. Just change your egg quality. And if you have actually more eggs, you have higher fertility, like number of eggs. If you have PCOS, you have higher AMH. We just need to correct the metabolic imbalance and correct the egg quality. So this is completely focusing on the wrong thing, and it is the biggest lie ever told to women.
Well, thanks. This is very helpful, Dr. Disha. And I think that this question is also very, the next question is also very important. Just do yoga and your ovaries or your cycle will align with the moon. So how much can lifestyle really help? And is there a moon app for that?
Wow. Okay. So just do yoga and cycle will align with the moon. Okay. So see, again, what is your definition of yoga? Because yoga does not just mean doing some asanas and doing some breathing. If you see the real meaning of yoga, it is Ashtanga yoga. You have to do the yam, niyam, asan, pratyahar, pranayam, samadhi, and all that. Okay. If you do all that, definitely yes. And I know this women's cycle and moon connection. I have personally experienced it. Most of my clients have also experienced it. So if you dig a little deeper, if you really heal on the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual levels, and this is the kind of work I do in my programs with my clients, we see it all the time that cycle aligns with the moon. I've seen it like not just personally, but many of my clients have experienced it. Those of you who are mother-daughters, you might see that your cycle aligns, mother and daughter cycle align. Those people who live in the hostel, the roommate cycle aligns. So women's body is magical, and there is definitely a connection with moon. But yeah, you need to really heal at that level to appreciate that connection. So this is not a myth. This is a magic. If you dig deeper and if you really do the kind of the yoga, what it really means, Ashtanga yoga and the 8 limbs of yoga and all that. So I have experienced it. Yeah.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Disha. So I think next one is a bit linked to what you mentioned, that we should, or women should avoid taking caffeine first thing in the morning, empty stomach, right? It kind of disturbs their balance. But would drinking Karela juice or bitter gourd juice at 6 a.m. in the morning, will it cure all the hormones? Is there a science behind it, or is just something a myth?
Okay, so I have never taken Karela juice, and I don't prescribe it either. Karela is definitely, it can alkalize the body, and I'm sure it has some good things to balance your insulin resistance. But it is traumatizing, like, you can't be drinking Karela juice. We have much better options to balance your insulin and balance your blood sugars, so, and alkalize the body also. So I can call it, definitely drinking Karela juice cannot heal your PCOS. So this is a myth.
Okay, thank you. So the next one, Dr. Disha, is only fat women or overweight women get PCOS.
Oh, this is a complete myth. PCOS comes in all shapes and sizes. We have obese PCOS, we have slim PCOS, we have clear skin PCOS, we have acne PCOS. So it comes in all shapes and sizes.
Okay, thank you. So on the lighter side, because we see PCOS in young women as well, so chocolate is the enemy if you have PCOS. So should we blame chocolate or the hormones? It's a myth.
Okay, so chocolate is not the enemy. Sugar is the enemy, the white sugar. A good quality dark chocolate, more than 60% cocoa, can actually help with a little bit. And if taken in moderation, it can actually help with hormone balance. So chocolate is not the enemy, but other ingredients in the chocolate, like maybe milk, sugar, these can aggravate your PCOS.
Thank you. So I'll just have the last question, and then there are certain comments which are coming in. We are about 5-7 minutes over the time as well, Dr. Disha. So the last myth or magic is irregular periods are normal if you are just too busy. So is your cycle trying to take a vacation, or is it just waving a red flag?
Irregular periods, if it is happening on a regular basis, it is a big red flag. It's a big red flag. You do not want to ignore it. If your body is trying to tell you something, and this is the time when you want to intervene, get tested and fix the root cause of the problem. Like I said, it can lead to deadly diseases in later life. So if it happens just once, if you have a flu or illness or travel or jet lag kind of thing, it's okay. But if it's happening on a regular basis, it's a big red flag.
Great. No, thank you. So with that, the myths and the magic, we saw a bit of magic. We busted a few myths, Dr. Disha. So there are a few questions which have come up.
Yeah,
so
please.
Madhvi, she has asked which hormones are responsible for increasing the body temperature even more during periods time, and how to address this issue.
Okay, so your body temperature increases during your ovulation, and it happens because of LH surge and progesterone. So we literally use this basal body temperature to track your ovulation as well. So progesterone is the thermogenic hormone, which is responsible for increasing the body temperature. I hope it answers your question.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Disha. So we have a question from Varsha. I hope it is okay to take names because it's anyways written in the public chat. So the question is, I want to know, is this a concern that sometimes when I have workload at my workplace, my cycle delays by 4 to 5 days? Can this impact me in the future?
So like we have already addressed this in the myths, if it's happening once in a while, it's okay. 4 to 5 days is not a problem. But if it's happening on a regular basis, you definitely want to get tested.
Great.
Don't want to ignore it.
Yeah. So I think you can unmute yourself and you can ask any question. We are open. Last couple of minutes we have, right? So if anyone wants to ask any question, they can. I would like to again repeat. I will post the link to the free fertility guide here in the chat window for you to use. Give me a second. Yeah, so I posted the link. You can copy paste this and you can download the fertility guide. You can share it. Thanks a lot, Dr. Disha, for that. And then also, if you want to reach out to us to consult with Dr. Disha, I posted the number in there. You can look up for Dr. Disha online. You can try to get a consult. So like I said, for 1 month, we have one free consultation with the consult that you'll take and 25% off on any diagnostics that you'll book through us. So those things stand. And I think I have personally learned a lot, very simple, practical tips, and of course, insights from a medical angle as well. So if anyone has any questions, or shall we close? Dr. Disha, any concluding remarks from your side?
Okay, yeah, I think somebody has a question.
Yeah, Ravi, so you have raised in hand. You want to say something? Ravi, you can unmute yourself. Let me see if I can unmute him. Just give me a second. You can't. Sudhir, if you are there, can you unmute Ravi? Or Ravi, can you type your question in the chat window? Or Sudhir, can you unmute Ravi? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Ravi, you're still muted. Yeah, Ravi, can you unmute yourself and ask? Okay, we shall continue, Dr. Disha. Yeah. I think it's been, you were trying to conclude, or shall we just, all join together, whosoever has joined on Sunday, for this very insightful and I think useful session, Dr. Disha. I see a lot of challenges. I'll be honest, I have led teams and where even the gender ratio was as high as 64-68%. And I see, especially my team members, women team members and colleagues having issues related to cycle, issues related to, PCOS, and struggling, and young colleagues struggling with fertility issues. They want to get pregnant, but because of PCOS or PCOD, they're not able to regularize their cycles, or they have issues in terms of getting pregnant. So what we have learned from you, and of course, in case anyone requires, they can actually consult and see how they can get the guidance to, get their cycles back, get their healthy life back. So I think thanks a lot, Dr. Disha. Again, some of the things that I have taken a note, I'll just share that, like lean into the natural hormone cycle, quote unquote, Dr. Disha. So I think it's been a fantastic session, and thanks everyone for joining. And next month as well, we will bring something meaningful and impactful for all of you. This session recording will be available on all our handles, from Instagram to LinkedIn as well. And we will also share some snippets of key takeaways from this session and post it on our social media. But thanks a lot, everyone, for joining. Thanks a lot, Dr. Disha. It means a lot to us. I think you are on a great mission to help empower women to take charge of their health. So thank you very much and wish you all the best.
Thank you, Dr. Rahul. Thank you for having me. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye. Happy Sunday. Bye.
Yeah, thank you.